Hello everyone. Please, if you at some point have any questions, please use the QR code here to ask your questions. So, who here is ready to talk about, yes, to discuss customer retention strategy?
Everyone.
Perfect. So, someone once said that the client perspective of your business is your reality. What does that mean? Well, it simply means that whatever you do, in the end, however the customer perceives your activity, perceives you, is what matters and what everyone will think of your business. So, hello everyone. My name is Elisa. I'm a partner manager at Odoo, and together with my colleague Rebecca, who is a account manager at Odoo, we'll discuss customer retention strategy and how to build it. So first of all, we'll discuss why it is important to build a strong retention strategy. Second of all, we'll go over the reason as to why you might lose a client, because it happens to everyone. And last but not least, we'll give you some tips and tricks, 10 tips and tricks to be exact, on how to improve or to create a retention strategy. So first of all, as you may know, retention strategy is highly important for your business. Because obviously it's really important to develop your business, to develop your activity. But what you also want is to keep your customer happy, because if you grow but you lose customer, in the end you don't grow. Also, on the other hand, it's super important as well for Odoo. As a partner at Odoo, retention is one of the KPIs that we will look at, especially when you become silver and gold. It matters to us because obviously, again, gaining customers is important, but keeping them and making sure that you farm those customers is also highly important. So please keep that in mind during the presentation.
We are going now to talk about the last reasons. As an account manager, sometimes it happens to me that a client tells me, Rebecca, I don't want to work with my partner anymore. Okay, but what happens then? The client can switch partners, so he can go work with another partner, or he can go, if it's accepted, to work directly with our teams at Odoo, or he can just give up and stop using Odoo. Okay? But why would a client want to stop working with his partner? We made a research, and this is the result. So we asked clients all over the world why they stopped working with their partner, and most of the time they were answering the partner had a lack of knowledge. His knowledge was not enough, he had not enough expertise. That came a lot. Then they were complaining about the project management and the coordination, the organization at the partner. Also, they were saying that the partner had insufficient resources, so not enough colleagues to handle the project. They were also complaining that it was too expensive. We will see later what it means, what is too expensive. And they were also complaining about the rapidity, so the partner was not reactive enough and too slow. Okay, so based on this graph and our experience of Elisa and I, we will give you 10 tips to improve your retention strategy. So let's begin the countdown. Please stay with us until the end. So advice number 10 will be about client relationship. Easy to say, but how do you build a long-term relationship? So first, you need to show your human aspect, because we're all humans communicating with each other. So client needs to know you're not just a robot time-sheeting your hours and thinking about the money. No, go on site, meet your client, show that you're interested in their activity, in their way of working, in their product or service. For example, I don't know, if your client is making mugs, why don't you buy a mug, put it on your desk, and whenever you have a meeting, they see that you are using their mug. Those little things are very important for your relationship, and that is important for your retention rate. Then the trust. If the client don't trust you, they won't be afraid to leave you at some point. So whenever you say something, it must be true. If you say, I will answer your email by tomorrow, then you need to answer the email by tomorrow. It must be true. If you say, oh, this development, it's easy, it will take no time, then it must be true. If whatever you say is true, then obviously they will trust you. Also, keep in mind that you need to be in the mindset of the long term with the client. Don't see your client as a one-shot project, okay? So whenever they go live, don't be afraid to keep in contact, ask them if they need help, even if it's not for development, just an advice or implementing another Odoo module in standard.
Talking about long run, something that's going to be very important in your retention strategy is going to be support. So, as most of you, if you're partners, know, support is key. As you've seen during the last reasons, it's also one of the main reasons why clients leave their partner because the support is too slow. So, you need to put in place a support strategy. Whatever it is, you need to keep that in mind that for your clients, it's going to be important to know that you're here, even if you don't have the answer just right away. You just need to let them know that, well, you've seen their problem and you're working on it. Obviously, for different partners, there are going to be different support strategies. There's not one that's going to fit everyone. And obviously, depending on your business, depending on your maybe your activities, different kinds of support are going to be necessary. For example, you could have one dedicated person for the support. You could also have, I don't know, support on weekends. Let's say, for example, one of my partners, they are very much active in the horeca, like in the in the restaurant industry. They are also very active with shops. And as you know, shops, well, they are open on weekends. So they need support on weekends because something bad can happen. So my partner, what they did is thought, okay, we're gonna put support on weekend. We're gonna have support on weekends. And obviously that made sense in this case.
About making sense, sometimes it makes sense to say no. So advice number 8 will be about daring to say no. Why and when would you say no to your clients? Before or during the project? So before the project, if you know that you don't have enough resources internally and that you cannot handle the project well, just say no, sorry, that's not the right timing. I cannot take you as a client and sign a contract with you. If you do sign a contract, then because of your resources and you knew you didn't have enough, the project goes wrong. This will be very, very bad for your reputation, and you don't want that. So it's better to say no and refuse the client. Also, if you meet the prospect and you feel that the personality of the client is not matching your personality, just also say no. I had a partner, he was a new partner at Odoo. It was his first prospect client. He said, okay, I need a client, so I will not say no. But he felt that the personality of the client was a bit difficult. And what happened? The client, he was calling him at 4 a.m. He was sending him tons of emails. He wanted things for his database, and then he changed it. He changed his mind every 2 minutes. So it was very, very difficult. What happened? That was the worst case scenario, but he stopped being an Odoo partner. And the client, his database was never finished, and so he didn't use Odoo in the end. So if you feel that you cannot handle a problematic client, just don't sign. It's better to put your time with a client that you know you will like. And then during the project, you know, whenever you have a client, the clients have a lot of ideas, but it doesn't mean that they're good ideas. So you are the Odoo expert. If the client says, okay, I want to change this and that in my database, add this button, remove the purple color, but put another view, you know better than them, so don't be afraid to say, no, this will not be good for your usage of Odoo, so give also your input and challenge your client during the project.
Thank you, Rebecca. You're very right. Challenging your client is important. So today, another tip that we want you to get is that you have to think yourself as a business partner rather than an IT partner. It's part of the challenge your clients way, meaning that we know that lots of companies that are partners today come from IT world. So most of companies define themselves as IT partners. But if you want to grow and you want to see it on the long run, you need to think yourself as a business partner. Like when you go to a client, you need to be able to challenge them. You need to be able to know their ways, their business. You need to understand it. So you have this kind of expertise for the clients, and you can challenge them easily. I mean, not easily, obviously, but you can have the tools to challenge them and make them realize that you know exactly what they need. Because sometimes, well, they use a software. They don't just need another software. They also need the business expertise that you know that you have.
Exactly. And what goes along with business? Communication. So advice number 6 will be about communication. So what is a good communication? First of all, since the very beginning, you need to define a clear way of working. So tell your client, okay, I'm working from this day to this day during the week and from this hour to this hour. So the client is not surprised if you don't answer the phone at 2 in the morning. Okay? And also, super, super important, have a clear contract signed by the client and by yourself. So in the contract, you can put the developments included, the deadlines, the trainings, if the bug fixing is included or not. I have a very good partner in the south of France. He's doing a super nice contract, and whenever the client come to them and say, "Oh, you forgot to do this. We said we would do that." Then the partner takes the contract, put it under the nose of the client, and says, "Look, no, this was not foreseen." So very good to have a contract. Transparency is very important as well, because the more transparent you are, the less frustration it generates. So no frustration. So if you have a problem or doubt during the implementation, tell the client so he knows what's going on and why you're slow in answering maybe. If from the beginning you know that you're not expert in a certain point, which is okay because you cannot be an expert in everything, tell the client. So if then you have a little problem during that part of the project, the client know, he's not surprised, you didn't oversell yourself. And also about the deadlines. If in the end you see that something will take more time than foreseen, tell your client and don't lie saying, yeah, it will be fixed by next week. No, tell them the real deadlines. And also show some flexibility. So about flexibility, I have an example in France again. It was a very good partner and a very serious and good client who was a big reference for them. And the partner made a mistake in the contract. Something was included in the contract, but it shouldn't be included in the contract. So when the partner started working on that, they told the client, look, sorry, but that's a lot of hours, and we cannot do that for free. It was a mistake in the contract. And of course, the client was super mad because they signed for it. But luckily, they could find a way in between, like pay 50% of it. It was not a good deal for the partner because for that amount of hours, it was really a very, very good price. But in the end, that was very beneficial for the partner because the client stay with the partner, and then the partner would continue implementing things, digitalize the project, and so he would make more money in the end because it's a long-term work. But imagine if the client and the partner couldn't find the flexibility, the client would have gone because he was super mad, work with another partner. It would be so bad for the reputation. The client would tell around him, this partner is not respecting his contract. So if you know it's a good client and it's worth it, don't be afraid to show some flexibility sometimes.
Perfect, thank you. Talking about flexibility, well, it's not always good to be that flexible, of course, because when we talk about developments, well, sometimes it's good to develop and sometimes it's not. I know it's going to be hard to understand and to hear because most of you guys here are maybe developers and you love to do that, and I really understand it. But also know that over developing can cost you clients because it's costly for the client. It takes longer to upgrade. There are hidden costs that clients they don't always understand at the beginning, such as maintenance or you have to change it or stuff like that. So it's not always the right choice to make development. Sometimes you need to think about, okay, how can I challenge my clients? How can I make them understand that the standard way may be better for them? However, like I said, sometimes it is okay to develop. Obviously, the standard today doesn't fit every industry at the moment, every client. And you need to know, okay, you need to understand, okay, what is necessary to develop? How can I, how can I reuse it in the future? You need to think about the cost and also what is going to bring you the benefits of developments. So you need to think, okay, what is it going to bring me in the future? Can I resell it to someone? Can I reuse it for a partner? Can I do some kind of verticalization? And that's how you need to think about it.
Now, it's known that it's rude to talk about money. So let's talk about money. So we saw that the clients were complaining about the pricing. They said the partner were too expensive. But how do you know how to set your pricing? The answer is very simple. In fact, it depends on your level of expertise. If you're working with Odoo since a long time and you have a lot of references, you're known in the business, and your work has a good quality, the clients are happy, it's normal that your price is a bit higher. If you just start with the partnership, maybe you can put your price a bit lower, so that makes sense. And if you don't know how to start, just check the competition. So check the average price that the partners around you in your country are asking, so I mean the price per hour. And if you're very good at Odoo, put your price a bit higher. If you're still not, put your price a bit lower. And then how do you know how much the others around you are asking for money? But then ask your partner manager, like Elisa, and she would tell you what the trend is in the market. Um, Another tool that you can use is our Odoo Success Pack page. So if you go on our Odoo Success Pack page, you select your country, and you will see how much Odoo asks per hour. Okay. So for example, in France and Belgium, it's 100 euros per hour, more or less. Okay. This is considered to be a low pricing. If you just start, you can put that price or a bit lower. We consider that if you double this amount, so for example in Belgium, 200 euros per hour, this is very expensive. Some partners do it, but we consider it's a very expensive price. And the average price in the market would be in between the two, but a bit lower. So for example, in Belgium, around 130 euros per hour.
Exactly. Thank you. As time is running out, I will go a bit faster. So next is follow-ups. So following up on projects is very important, whether it being before, during, or after. You will understand it that before, obviously, you want to close the deal, so you will have to do those follow-ups with the clients. Once you close the deal, during the project, it's very important as well. How many times have you heard like someone tell you, okay, I'll let you know about it, and then they don't let you know about it, and it's very frustrating? Well, for the client, it's the same. Think about it like, okay, when you have a client, even if you take some, like you're a bit late or you don't know exactly what to do, you need to keep them up to date. And you can do that through the progress report, which is a tool that a lot of partners use. And we have a template on Odoo, so if you don't know where to find, just ask us. And then obviously afterwards, it's also very important because if you don't know, I mean, if you keep up with the clients, you will know, okay, maybe there is some kind of possibility to grow my client as well, to find other business or other revenues in these clients.
Okay, advice number 2 will be about your people of contact at Odoo, like Elisa and myself. So Elisa is your partner manager, I'm your account manager, and we are really happy to help you if you have any question regarding the process, regarding the hosting, regarding a new project. We are there to help you. And also, the more we know you, the more we have an opinion about you, how serious and how good you are as a partner, and the more we are likely to say nice things about you, about your clients, whenever we do a follow-up. It happened to me that a partner didn't want to be in contact with me at all. He was not answering the phone, he was not answering the emails, he was refusing the follow-ups. And so I didn't know how he was working. And at some point, one of his clients came to me and complained, hey, Rebecca, the partner is not answering to me. What do you want me to say? The client wanted to change and go to work with another partner. I had literally no argument to defend that partner. So, of course, if the client wants to work with another partner, I gave him names of partners around him, and so he went to work with another partner. In the opposite, I have a partner, and he's really good. We do follow-ups. He's very transparent with me. I have good feedbacks from his clients. And once, one of the clients still came to complain to me, and I said, no, it must be a misunderstanding somewhere. Let's have a call, the three of us, so the partner, the client, and myself, and let's try to fix the frustrations and find a way to solve the conflict. So the more you let us help you, the more we will defend you, because this is our goal. Sometimes I hear, and I don't like hearing that Odoo would steal your clients. That will never be the case, okay? Because if we are your persons of contact, it means that we are in the indirect department, and basically, to be honest, our salary depends on you. So it's never, never the goal to steal your client and send them to direct department. So we are in the same boat.
Indeed. And last but not least, it's going to be about skills. So knowledge is power. Skills was one of the main reason that like clients leave partners. Why? Because they don't trust that the partner has the right knowledge or has the right skills. It's not about like what you have, it's about what they trust that you have. So what you need to do is really to let them know that you are able to take on their project and continue helping them. Also, to make sure that you are able to do that, you need to keep up to date with the new versions of Odoo, that you know what you're doing, and you also need to show it because, well, good if you do it, but if nobody knows about it, it's like you didn't do it. So I don't know, pass a certification, post it on LinkedIn. Also, if you don't know how to train on Odoo, on how to get that knowledge, also know that we have services available to you in order for you to get that knowledge. So yeah, very important to have the knowledge and also keep it internally. Don't subcontract too much. Don't go to other people because if you don't have the control of it, you might also lose customer because they might think, okay, you didn't have the knowledge. You know. Thank you.
Let's jump now to the conclusion. So today we gave you tips and tricks. But if there is one thing that we want you to remember from this talk is that it's super important to build a retention strategy because a business can only grow on solid ground. Thank you very much for your attention and don't hesitate to ask your questions via the pad by scanning this QR code. Thank you.
If you have any, exactly. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for your presentation. It seems that we are waiting for questions.
It's perfect. If
It
everything
seems
was
that
clear.
you made everything crystal clear.
Wow, super happy about that.
Amazing presentation. First comment.
Thank you.
Oh,
The question I have is, everybody stayed? Yes.
I don't know, but
what about our
questions
retention
are
rate
coming.
about this presentation?
It's 100%, I think.
Are coming. How do I change whatever? I think there is a delay here, but
Yeah, maybe. Okay. How can I find my first client?
yeah.
That's a
Okay.
question for you.
That's a good question. Well, it depends. Like, if you've never worked before, well, you might do some advertising. I mean, there are many possibilities, obviously. But for example, if you start as a partner and you've worked before, you could like activate your networking, your network. So, I mean, there are many ways, and obviously that's also why myself, and my colleagues are here to well, develop a strategy of how to get that business. You know. So that's a good question, but that's also another presentation, I think.
Next question. How do I change the account manager if he does not satisfy us?
So that's a question for me. Unfortunately, it's not up to you to choose your account manager. So we're organized by countries, and we have each of us a pipe of, let's say, 35 partners, each one. And it's not up to you to choose which account manager you want. So we can open the discussion, but basically that's the answer.
I was gonna say, yeah, if I may add on that, I
Yes?
think it's always interesting to discuss what's not working together with your account manager and maybe their manager, so we understand like how to solve the issues, because obviously we all want to be happy in our work. So I think
Yes,
it's,
indeed. And also, if I say something that you don't like, it's the opinion of Odoo. So if you have someone else, they would say just the same. So, yes.
Next question. When to decide to do a customization?
when to decide to do a customization? That's a good question, actually. I would say it really depends, case by case. Just know that the more customization you do, the more you have to maintain it, and the more it might be costly for the client. So I would say that if you know the product very well, you can always challenge the client to go as standard as possible. And for the few percentage that cannot be like challenged or that cannot be standardized or is or very specific to the industry, do the developments. But again, those are tips and tricks. It's not like you don't have to do it if you feel like, okay, you know better. That what we say, it's fine. But it's just like a recipe that worked for other partners to get to the goal stage.
Thank you. Next question. Can Odoo employees also be Odoo partner as freelance, as a side job?
I think so. I don't know.
Challenging question.
I'm not the right person to
As a
answer that.
side job, I don't know anyone who's doing that, so I doubt that's allowed. But what
I
I
guess.
know is that they cannot just
Okay.
go and work with a partner in the year after quitting Odoo.
We run out of the time, so thank you
Th-
for your
Thank you,
presentation.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you.